Hey everyone, so I wanted to shoot this for my fellow realtors all across the United States and Canada. As you know, right now everybody is talking to you about how you need leads, you need AI, you need this, that, the other. They want you to spend with them because they think of you as their secret sauce in their business. But in reality, you don't need any of them. You don't need any of them at all. You can build it yourself, step by step by step. And it's actually very easy to be able to build it because in the book, J. Abraham, Ultimate Real Estate Machine, this whole book, he talks about one thing. He talks about basically the beaches of Normandy. How did the Allies win World War II? They simply chose a certain, I forget exactly without going in and for this video, but they chose X number of beaches and they landed Y number of people on each beach. As long as they had enough people, they could overpower the defenses that were there, and then the defenses happened to be sleeping. So that's how we ended up winning World War II. There was a lot of different factors that played into that. So in J. Abraham's book, he simply talks about what are your fronts, what are your beachheads in your local real estate market? What things are you building out? And so if you look at the volume here in the city of Windsor, where I live, and you look at different segments of the market, as I've done, and I'm constantly looking at different segments of the market, printing them out, choosing my beachheads, doing my war preparations to win the front. That's what I've been doing for the last 11 years. That's what my degree's in. That's what I do. Then I've come up with 3 logical beachheads for me. Not necessarily for other people, but for me, things I like to do. Things I like to work with. I don't like to work with rich people. I just don't. If you're a multimillionaire watching this, sure, I might help you, but it's not what I aspire to. I'd be really good at helping you, but it's not what I aspire to. There's 3 beachheads. This one, I have to be careful because other realtors watch this from Windsor as well too. This one, and this one. Okay. Now, right now I only have 1 beachhead launched. And I'm getting pretty successful there. And then I'm launching these other 2 beachheads. They're in process in the city of Windsor. The total volume of these beachheads is about $500 million a year. And I just need to control a small percentage of that to have a nice annual income, a comfortable living, quote unquote, minus expenses. So the average selling price of the houses in these segments, if I sold 1 of this, 1 of that, and 1 of the other, it'd be $1.525 million worth of volume by 3%, because I'd be a listing realtor. That would be $45,750 a month. A nice, comfortable income. Because sales pays really well. It just does. It's expensive to be a realtor, but that leaves plenty of money. So by 12 months, that's $549,000. So then I sit there and I say, okay, so what if there were 6 months at the full scale? What if there were 3 months at most of the scale? What if there were 2 months at very little of the scale? And what if there was 1 month at 0 scale? Because I'm traveling, whatever, doing other things. Personal things come into life. Gee, I don't really want to work this month, or I'm crying this month because maybe I lost my mom or something like that. Time when I wouldn't have any revenue because I'm only one person. Now, I'd never have revenue, but it just is what it is. There could be. So I factored all of that in. And I said, okay, the baseline there is a very, very comfortable gross $399,700. Now, what if I only had 80% of this? What if my projection was only 80% of this? So that's where these numbers come in. So 319 is kind of my basis. Once I get these three legs launched, which makes perfect sense because it's $100,000 per leg. It's perfect sense to use this as the baseline lowest number. And then the midline is probably what you hit when you think about doing regression analysis or projection analysis with a finance degree. You usually hit this number. And then, if you're really good, you hit your dreamy number. And I've kept my dreamy number low because it's just 1, 1, 1. I've already got 3 estates this month. What if it's 3 estates, 1, 1? I mean, that'd be 5. I mean, the dreamy number becomes completely different. Now, so I take $1,000 a week or $1,000, $4,000 a month out of the business, move it over into the family side of the equation. And then I have $60,000 of expenses roughly. You know, here I would end up buying a new pickup truck. I'm going to need a new pickup truck soon or sooner at some point in time. So I just factored it all in. I kept it simple. What would be the cost of running these legs? Because once I get them launched, then it's just a maintenance cost of the legs. So it's about $108,000 a year to be a realtor. That's why I say real estate's expensive. It doesn't include board fees. I kind of lumped it all together into there. This number might be a little bit higher, but it's going to be pretty accurate. So then I said, okay, so I've got a net of 211. What are my taxes that I have to pay to the government for making 211? I have to give the government 77,000 of that. So my net after tax is 134,440. Same thing here. 291 gross after the expenses, roughly, approximately. I have to give the government $118,000. Here, I have $173,000. Here, same thing. I have to give the government $200,000. I have about $242,000 on my super dreamy number. So just using this, because usually you hit this. It's just a phenomenon in business. You usually hit this. But if I don't hit that, if I only hit this, still not a bad problem to have. I then take that over. And I say, okay, so I've got 11,000 because 134,4 divided by 12 months is 11,203 net after taxes. And then I say, okay, so if I put that into an investment account, the average investment account earns about 8, a growth mutual fund, a good growth mutual fund with a good manager earns about 8% per year, roughly. It's going to vary. Some months are going to be 12%. Some months are going to be 4%. Some months might be a negative. Some months might be positive 27%. They all average out to about 8% per year. Without getting into any super califragilistic modeling. Keep it simple. Model it simply. That's what finance is. So that earns about 0.666%. So I have some cash in my business right now. It's been very successful just with the estates business. That's the money I'm using also to be able to continue to grow the other 2 legs for the other part of my $500 million of target market that I'm going after. Okay. So in the first year, because that's that's net money after cars, trucks, expenses, taxes, all that stuff, that's kind of net money. Then what do I have after the first year? And I have about $316,000 after the first year of launch. So next year, I might end the year with $316,000 in the business account. It'd be wonderful if I did, wouldn't it? It's not a bad problem to have. As long as I can stay healthy and I get the legs launched and they do what I expect them to do on a very, very baseline number. Then the middle of the road would be 356. Then the dreamy number would be 428. You can see now suddenly I'm like, maybe I do have a chance at 58 years old. Maybe I do have the chance to retire suddenly. So I'm wrestling with that. What does life look like if I did retire at 61 or 62 or 63? I could actually retire. I've never thought about retiring. I ran myself down to zero. And so I just always thought I was going to have to do something in life. So why not do something I like, which is what the real estate business was. It's where the real estate business came in. I like doing it. It's fun. I'll be doing it all day today as soon as I get done shooting this video for you. So at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, I go one step further then. The brain starts working. My brain does, at least. I don't know about your brain, but my brain starts working. In the wealth management business that I sold, I had X number of dollars per year coming in renewals. And the value of the business was 3 times that annual income, was what I sold my block of business for. And that's kind of a industry standard, 3%, or 3 times. Industry standard kind of thing. Okay. So, if I had, and it's gross, but you keep it simple. Don't use gross, use net. So if I had $300,000 more, because 134 is a net number times 3, would be $390,000 I could sell the business for after year 1. That number would also come into here, so then I would have $700,000, earning 0.666. I could retire after even the first year and do absolutely nothing. I could go to the 4 points where Tom Hanks was in Castaway and stand there and do absolutely nothing for a whole year and have a good solid income coming in. Like, wow. Hadn't thought about it that way. All of a sudden, it opens up doors of opportunity for me that I didn't think that I had open for me. Thought I was going to just always work. I probably will in some capacity because I like it. It's fun. I'm still going to travel and all that stuff too and do all that other fun stuff. Because real estate gives you the opportunity to be able to do that. But okay, but then what if it was this revenue number times 3? That's $550 million or $550,000 plus this. Suddenly I'd have pretty darn close to $1 million, earning 0.666. It'd be $6,660 a month on top of all the other money that we have. Wow. After even 1 year, I could completely, all of a sudden it opens up an opportunity for me. What if I'm right with my dreamy number? Which isn't really the dreamy number because it's just a percentage. So then you have this revenue, 242 times 3 is 720 plus this saved already, you have 1.3 million. That's all I need. That was always my number when I was a truck driver back when I was 21, 22, 23 years old and projecting out what I thought I needed for the concept to be able to retire. It always came up to be 1.3. Wow, I'm there. 1.3 times 666 is a pretty significant number. It's over $10,000 a month. You have a hard time spending, in my view, at the very least, you have a hard time spending $10,000 a month in retirement. Plus, you still have the 1.3 million of cash. So, not a bad problem to have. So, my point is, for those of you that are watching this, in real estate, it is back to this book. What are your beachheads? If you listen to your broker of record, they want you to be a generalist. They want you, like here in the city of Windsor, I'll use the example. Oh, we want you to sell in Leamington. We want you to sell in Kingsville. We want you to sell in Amherstburg. We want you to sell in Lakeshore. We want you to sell in Windsor. We want you to sell, 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 Brian. Just go sell, sell, sell. And in order to sell, 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 you need to be buying, buying, buying all of those things that make no sense. Because those other folks need to get rich off of you. Because you need to invest in your business. You need to invest in your business, but you need to do it by building out your beachheads. The reason that the brokers of record do not teach you this or coach you on this part is because then you become your own broker of record. You don't need them. It's what I recognized a long, long time ago. It's like, what the hell? Their model is broken. That's old school. That's old. That's like old factory thinking. And real estate has changed. It's now new factory thinking, which is why I hired Bill Bishop in the first place. He helped me to get started thinking about it in this way. I was already kind of there, but I needed the little extra push. So that's why I hired Bill to be able to do that. And he gave me some really good advice. I like him a lot. I consider Bill to be a friend, which is pretty rare when you think about your consultant. It's pretty cool. I like to be part of the network there because I'm learning things even still to this day by just being associated with his firm. Hey, Brian, there's this video. Perfect, great, can't wait to watch it. Learn new things. Woohoo. And I apply them. And I think that that's the difference too, is we have to apply what we learn too. And so keep in mind that our brokers of record have only ever been broad generalists. If they were realtors at any point in time. Many of them have never even been a realtor. I just had lunch with a broker of record that owned a chain of restaurant stores and still owns restaurants. Was a general man or a super manager of like 25, 30, 35 restaurants, whatever, in his life. Then he said, well, gee, I want to go do something else. I'm going to get out of the restaurant business. It's really, really stressful, and I'm going to retire from that. And, I'll go be a realtor. But because I got some money built up, I'll become a broker of record. And then I'll go around and I'll talk to everybody about being, a generalist. Sell. I'll make that much more money. I'll be able to, just run this business. Well, you have to understand their background to be able to understand how they're not teaching you. They've never even gone to the bookstore and bought a book. That's the thing that we all have to remember. They've never gone to a bookstore and bought a book. They just opened up a brokerage and said, oh, I'm a broker of record. They have no background in anything. They have a building and a staff, and it seems like you must be doing something right. You're a broker of record with a business, and you've got a sign out there with a label on it, and people walking around here and other people selling houses because they're up here on this whiteboard. Oh my gosh, gee, I want to be a part of it. That's all that they need. Silly, stupid. Why would you give them $25,000 a year to come in and drink the coffee that they're going to be charging you for? It doesn't make any sense. Buy your own freaking coffee. Save your 25 grand a year. It's a hell of a lot. It's a very expensive coffee. I think you would agree. Just do your own thing. Join a non-bricks and mortar brokerage where you own your own thing. You start earning stock as well too. Like I said, I haven't even calculated in the 40,000 by the end of next year. I have even more volume of stock. So it's a plus. Because I know what I have right now and I know what I'm going to have next year roughly. I can't project it, though. That's the part that's hard. And I just got dizzy doing this video, so I'm going to stop because I got to go lay down now. That's one of the other challenges is I get into the middle of this. I get these dizzy spells from time to time, and all of a sudden I haven't had any in months, and now I just got one. It's all good here. It's all fine here. Don't know why it just did that, but it did. So I'll go lay down, take a break, because I got some real estate stuff I got to get done before 1 o'clock. So welcome to my world. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back with you here soon. This just gives you kind of a thought process around how I'm looking at my volume, my beachheads, in the war for volume. Have a great day. If I can help you, I'm available. Just have to reach out to me. There's lots of ways to reach out to me. You can send me smoke signals, carrier pigeons, one of the other ways. Y'all know where I'm at. And some of you do reach out, which is a blast, because it's fun to have some friends in the real estate business too. I'm Brian, 519-995-6145. Have a great day. Bye-bye.